Hi everyone! In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can play around with animations on Wix website. So I'm going to give you a tips and tricks on how to animate your website to make it look more professional and less distracting. As you can see, I have several websites and I'm going to show you how to animate some of them. The first one is going to be this website right here. To be able to go through this tutorial, you're going to want to already have your own Wix website. I'm not going to show you how to create it from scratch, so make sure you already have your websites first before you continue watching this video. Alright, once you already got your website, you're going to want to click on Edit Website and wait until it's finished loading. So this is one of the websites that I've already created earlier. I didn't really change much of the design as well as the wording, but as you can see, it doesn't really have any animations in it. I think it looks quite boring, so we're going to spice things up a bit by adding some animations on the elements. Basically, all of the elements that are available on your website page are definitely customizable. You can animate each one of them, but the first tip from me is to animate just several amount of element. Do not animate every single thing, every single element that you have in one page, because it's going to confuse people when they see it. Instead of making it look more interesting, you will end up confusing people who try to take a look around on your website. So to animate your element, what you're going to do is you're going to click on these certain elements that you would like to animate, and then you're going to see this symbol right here. Symbol looks like overlapping diamond, and if you click on it, there's going to be an animations wording on top of it. And over here, you're going to see a bunch of animation that you can choose. There's bounce in, glide in, fade in, float in, expand in, spin in, fly in, and turn in, and many more. If you scroll to the bottom of this animation, you will find much more animations. And when you put your pointers on top of each animation, you're going to see how it's going to affect your elements. So another tips that I'm going to give you is that make sure that you do not put too much types of animation. Let's say that you're trying to use this glide in one, and you can see that you can also customize these animations even more. You can change the direction, you can change the distance as well as the durations. Let's say you're going to use this glide in for your first animation. I highly recommend you to choose the maximum of two other more animations for your web page so that it will not be distracting again. We want people to be interested when they are looking around at our web page, and we don't want them to be distracted with the movement of each element. So right here, I'm just adjusting the distance, the duration, as well as the delay. And you can also choose if you want the animations to move. If it's just the first time people seeing it, you can click on that, and you can also see the preview. And now that I'm done with the first page, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page of my web page. So in this web page, you can see that I have several wordings as well as some pictures. I'm just going to animate this wording here, and I'm going to use the fade in. I'm not going to customize it. And I'm also going to use the same animation with this text box right below it. I'm only going to customize the delay because I want this specific text box to reveal after the one on top of it reveal themselves. And as for these pictures, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to animate the wordings. Next, I'm going to also animate this button over here, and I'm going to use the float in. And then I'm going to customize the delays duration so that again it's going to show after the first two wordings that I've already created earlier. And lastly, I would want to animate this last page on my web page. It looks like this, and I'm just going to use the animation that I've already used earlier. As you can see, most of the animation that I've used was either it's glide in or fade in or float in. And I'm choosing the glide in for now, but I'm going to change the directions of which my elements are going to glide in from. As you can see, when you play around with the circle right here, you can see that there is a degree of when you can adjust your directions in, and you can see that there is a degree number besides the circle. If you cannot adjust it to a certain degree that you want, you can just type it out. As you can see, I'm typing out 180 because that is the directions degree that I want. And then that's it. You don't have to adjust it manually. You can also just type it out. All right, now that we're done with this website, I'm going to click on preview and I'm going to show you how the animations look like. All right, so this is how it looks like. As you can see, the wording as well as the other elements is showing up just like how I animated it earlier. You can readjust it if you want, but if you feel like it's already good enough, you can just publish your website just like how I do over here. All right, now that we're done with that website, I'm going to try and animate another one. This is another website that I have, and as you can see, it has a different vibe with the first one. So I'm also going to try and animate all of the elements that exist on this website, but I'm going to animate it in the form of mobile website. So to do that, I can just go ahead and click on the mobile icon on the top left of my screen. And as you can see, the website are going to change into the mobile site view. I'm just going to fast forward this video as I explain. Basically, like I told you earlier, I only use 2 to 3 animation, but I only play around with the duration, the delay, as well as the directions of my animation. I don't really use any heavy animation like the turn in or fly in one. In my personal opinion, it doesn't really make your website looks pretty professional. It makes it look a little bit confusing, so I personally would avoid to use those kinds of animation. But if you really like that kind of animation, feel free to use any of it. But if I might, I would like to give you some input, and that input is for you to just use it for 1 or 2 elements instead of for your whole page. All right, so this is how my second website looks like. As you can see, I add up some different animations to it because instead of making it looking elegant or like more business-like, I want this one to be more relaxing and more playful. So I hope you can sense that vibe that I'm trying to create by the animation that I've put throughout this website. And the way I change the animations of each element are just exactly the same like how I change it on my first web page. I just want to show you how you can create different ambience or different vibes on your website based on the animations itself. All right, so that is it. That is how you can play around with the animation and how you can make your web page look more professional with animations on Wix website. I hope this tutorial is helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.